list of who I wanted to work for. And at the top of that list was the Beatles. At the time, there was a bar called Mike Malkin's.
Yeah, Malkin's!
That we all hung out in. And I knew Mike pretty well, so I went to Mike and I said, you have to introduce me to Nat Weiss. And a couple of nights later, Nat was there, and I was there, and Mike took me over to Nat's table, and he said, this is Lynne Beltman, you have to hire her. Of course, Nat was totally put on the spot, but he gave me his business card, and I called him, and he actually had me come into the office, and my interview consisted of him playing the Double White album before it came out, the entire album, telling me stories, and at the end he said, do you know how to type? And I said, yeah, and he goes, okay, start Monday. And my entire life changed in that moment, and I don't really know what my life would be today without Nat. I'm still in the music business, but I had the privilege of sitting in Nat's office often and listening to his phone calls. And often he would put people on speaker. And it's really how I learned the business and how I learned how honest he was. I'm going to tell one quick story, and then I'm going to bring up a very special person. One of my favorite Nat stories is when I first started working for him. I was living on Jane Street in the Village, and Nat called me up one night, and he said, can you buy an ounce of pot? And I said, yeah, I guess so. And he goes, okay, I need you to buy an ounce of pot. I need you to roll the entire ounce and bring it up to my apartment as soon as possible. I'm thinking, what the hell? So I go out and get an ounce of pot. I'm sitting in my apartment. Those are the days when twigs and seeds were still in there. Rolling the entire thing. I get in a taxi, I go to Nat's apartment, and the pot was for George Harrison. George was sitting there with Al Aronowitz, if any of us remember him. And as a result, not that many months later, George gave me a first-row ticket to Bangladesh. Anyway, I would like to bring up a special person who is the co-writer of Summer in the City from The Loving Spoonful, Mr. Steve Boone.